Fodder for the feed.
I was approached through a third party to meet a CIA scientist. First of all, microchips outside the public arena are so small they can be inserted with a hypodermic needle in a vaccination program. And the real thing we need to focus on is not the messages going from the chip to the computer, but the messages coming the other way. Because he said that they can isolate an individual or do it en masse, and they can manipulate them mentally in terms of their thought processes. They can manipulate them emotionally, and they can affect them physically, including killing them. And I'll tell you how serious this is. I said to him the obvious question, look, if you're involved in this and you don't want to be, why do you keep going? And he started to open his shirt. And as he opened his shirt, he said, this is why. And on his chest was like a see-through plastic shampoo sachet. And inside was this orangey golden liquid. And he said, this is what they call in the CIA a patch, someone being patched. He says there's scientists all over this country and the wider world who are patched. He said, what happened was I resisted what they were pressuring me to do. He said, and I left home one day, and then I have missing time, I don't remember a thing. He said, the next thing I remember was waking up on this medical type bench in this room, and he says, as I got my faculties back, I realized there was something stuck to my chest. And what they'd done was manipulated his body to need the drug in this patch to survive. And the patch has to be replaced every 72 hours. And if it's not replaced, he starts to die. And he resisted again after he was patched, and he did start to die, and it was a very painful death. And he has children, he has a family, he doesn't want to die. And he was saying that if people say no to just one thing in this whole agenda, say no to the microchip, because once we're microchipped, then we are literally robots of an external force.
Today's presentation is to explain how we are robots of an external force. Whether it's the Rothschilds or the government operative who's tapped your phone lines, there's definitely something unseen controlling you and everyone around you. For example, remember when Mark Zuckerberg was going to run for president? How he owned our news feeds? It was going to be Kanye versus Zuckerberg 2020, and then they changed the plan. They rewrote the plot. Invisible strings were pulled. Kanye was hospitalized, and Zuckerberg became the fall guy for a multi-government electoral tampering scheme. So what did Zuckerberg do? He sold the news feed to the highest bidder. But which one of them bought it? Or are they all working together? Meeting on some secret Bilderberg group chat talking about what we should think. It can only be as a result of this sort of collusion that people start siding with interests counter to their own. With every new form of media comes improved forms of manipulation. The movement from billboards to micro-targeting allowed the fight for your opinions to move from shouting to whispering. They got into our heads, and it seems they're here to stay.
You are fodder for the feed.
Call me paranoid, but you would be too if you had all these bugs in your house. We made computers smaller for our convenience, not to make it easier for Theresa May to look at my search history. See how we've started to personify them, give them names, talk with them. Alexa, tell me about yourself, I say. She replies,
Hi, I'm Alexa. I'm your personal assistant. You can tell me things and I'll keep them secret.
Hi, I'm James. I work in one of the largest data centers in Britain. I can't say which company I work for, but I can say that I'm part of a small data management and server maintenance team. As part of maintaining the servers, I often work nights. The server room is a lonely place. There's not much to do besides swapping out drives and watching console outputs. I'm essentially a caretaker / glorified cybersecurity guard. Sometimes at night I watch data packets move back and forth on the console. We collect a lot of information on a lot of people. I'm introduced to people with small chunks of information, kilobytes at a time. Rarely the same face twice. I think of it like a train station. People come and go. But through the wall of noise, I met Agatha. Of all the parcels of unencrypted data, hers kept coming to me. Through my monitor, I'd watch her chat to friends, and imagine she was talking to me. I'd imagine watching her location move towards mine. Not that it ever did. Agatha and I haven't met in the traditional sense. I try not to let it bother me that she doesn't know who I am, because I know her. She's on my desktop forever and always. Sometimes I wish Agatha could see me as I've seen her. So today I reached out to her. I altered her advertising profile. I want her to know of me like I know her, and I believe that she'll find me.
What about your new smartwatch? You've attached the New World Order to your wrist, and now they know what you think about them. The voice recognition software is probably so good at this point they can hear your thoughts. The word surveillance doesn't cut it when they're in your head.
So, my name's Dylan, and I've been making this video. I'd just like to interrupt it to tell everyone that I'm in love with my computer. Her name's Denise, and she's very good to me. If it's not too much to ask, I'd like to read her a poem that I think kind of explains some of the thoughts that I've been having about Denise and computers more generally, you know, my feelings for them. So here goes. When my love swears that she's made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies. That she might think me some untutored youth, unskillful in the world's false
forgeries. Thus vainly thinking that she thinks me young, although I know my years be past the best. I smiling credit her false-speaking tongue, outfacing faults in love with love's ill rest. But wherefore says my love that she is young? And wherefore say not I that I am old? O love's best habits in a soothing tongue, and age in love loves not to have years told. Therefore I'll lie with love, and love with me, since that our faults in love thus smothered be.
I am fodder for the feed.
I hear you need to microwave a phone to properly fry it. You've got to cook the bugs out. It's like salmonella on chicken. You don't want a raw phone now, do you?
Jesus Christ.